Alright, so this is actually one of the first Kingdom Death miniatures I got introduced to. But I'm actually really excited to paint her. But here, I'm going to crack open the box and take a look at the insert and put her together. Oops, I didn't cut the other one. I want to, otherwise it's going to just stick there. There we go. Alright. Oh, I love that it has the older art card. Okay, cool. Like one of the original art drawings. See, I love that. Like black and white. That's great. Grayscale. So, tethered parcel. Survivor gains the Twilight Sword rare gear. Place it in their grid now. The survivor may select Twilight Sword as a weapon proficiency type. That weapon is cursed. In addition, the parcel contains a blue lantern and dormant Twilight rare gear. These add these to settlement storage. Cursed. Oh wow! So what cursed items? I didn't know that cursed items you have to keep them. Interesting. And then yeah, there's the dormant Twilight cloak. And then blue lantern. Interesting. Cool. I might have to decide what base to put her on. Okay. So yeah, she's a lot simpler than most. I would want to keep the cloak separate so it'd be easier to paint, but the cloak is actually like a really light gray blue. So that should be fun, and then the white hair. I haven't done white hair on a mini yet. That's going to be fun. I did like a really dirty blonde on the thief, but that'll be fun. So let me get started. I mean, there's nothing here. You know what? Let me choose a base quick. Yeah, I think I want to choose a base for it really quick. I haven't used this one yet. It's like a really rocky terrain. It's like a lot of rocks. You can't really see it, but it's a lot of rocks and sand. Like a big divot in it. I don't know. It's kind of cool. I'm going to use that one. Alright. So I'm just going to cut all the parts off. Like usual, just make sure you know where the line of the part is. If you cut off not quite enough, like here, you still got that little bit left over, that's okay. That means that you didn't cut the actual model. It's a little weird on these Kingdom Death models just because they're so... In a way, they're kind of random where the joint to the mold is. So it just takes some getting used to. And you'll notice after a few times of messing up that you'll kind of get a cautionary feel for where things are. And do what I did and cut less of... or more of this remaining. So, I don't know how to phrase it. You'll cut a little more cautiously, I guess, towards the outside of the part. If in doubt, a good thing to do is flip it over. Sometimes the angle you're on, you can't see where the part's supposed to be cut. Just like here, it kind of looked like there at the bottom here, right here, there was like an extra piece of her armor, but there isn't. And I didn't know that until I flipped it over. So, because here's when I'm supposed to cut it. There we go. Alice in the Twilight Night. One of the very original Kingdom Death sculpts. She looks very much like Zelda. Or not Zelda, Link. Hello, Panda.
Hello.
Just building some stuff.
I'm gonna get you a thumb guard.
What?
When you're using
What, like a thing?
Exacto. Yeah.
Okay, what, they make those?
Yes.
Okay. Will it hamper me?
I don't think so.
What are they made out of?
Leather.
Isn't let me a leather thumb guard? Okay.
Yeah.
As
So
long as you
you're
laser,
using-
as long as you laser the Kingdom Death lantern on the back.
I don't know if the whole thing is leather, but I can laser it someplace on there.
Cool. It's like this cool little like logo
I'll
thing.
figure it out.
Anyway.
Well, I'm gonna get stuff together and head out.
Your stuff should be on the banister there.
Yeah, I still gotta collect my computer and other things.
Yep. Sounds good. Okay. Just being overly cautious with this sword. It's really easy to get a divot in it or break it off because all these connection points are pretty fragile. So it's good to hold it pretty close to where you're cutting, which is a little tricky, especially if you got a sharp razor. But okay, same here. Just getting this part off. This is a little bit. Sorry, I'm trying to keep it in focus. There's just this little bit here. There. Alright, what I'll probably do is get her standing first, because that'll make it a lot easier for me. So, I'm going to trim this little part off so that the legs fit on properly. And are there any preferences, too? I may put another one together right now, just to save me some time for later. Any preferences on what plastic mini I should put together? Cloak is good. Alright. Pretty much everything, Sam. Although I've been tempted to do some of the newer pinups, like the Series 2, or maybe another one from the Series 1. Not sure. Haven't decided. Black Friday Ninja? Alright, way tune. Alright, I'll put together a Black Friday Ninja. I'll at least put her together. I don't know if I'll get to painting her right away, but I'll at least put her together. Yeah. Whoop. And there we go. Just trying to make sure it fits properly. Cool. Nope, not quite. And the reason why is there's just a little bit extra. It's hard to see, but there's a little bit extra on there that... I don't know if this is interesting to everybody, me just putting together a bunch of minis, but we got like 30 people watching, so I guess it's a little interesting. Twilight Knight? Twilight Witch. Oh, you and your Twilight Witch asking back. Alright, so we got Twilight Witch, Black Friday Ninja, anything else? I want to hold off on the sci-fi ones, just because I really want to do them justice. Otherwise I would do that. Alright, so I'm trying to make sure that this is good. I foolishly put... There we go. They should do the Black Friday Ninja again for this year's Black Friday. There, she's good. Oh, that reminds me. Alright, we got a pin-up Savior. I might have one. I'll have to, root through my parts bin with all my plastic kits. So today may be a stream that I just build stuff. We'll see. If that's the case, then that's not a bad thing, because then I can actually get it done. That'll save me some time on future streams. Then I can just chat with everybody. Pinups of Death 1 box. You know, I could actually put together the whole Pinups of Death 1 box. I'm actually really enjoying putting models together today, so if it's okay with you guys, I may just build models today. I'll stream longer if I do that, as a compromise, or a whatchamacallit, a reward for quitting or not painting. Hello.
Hello.
What do you need?
Can I have one of your clicky flash drives?
Clicky? Yes. Grab them. They were buried. Oh, cool. Her lantern is actually clipped to her side here. Right there. I'm actually going to go back. Yeah, a wild panda appears. I hope you could hear her laughing. We're going to figure out a way to get her to use my Prime account to get that panda chat emoticon for and disappears. I know. She only wanted. She's attracted to flash drives. I used bait. Ah, so it fits that way. Interesting. I was thinking it went slot in, but the actual yeah, you can see it went around. So cool. And you guys have to remind me too. I've got to film more of the white speaker here because I've got to clean up mold lines. That's actually a really important part, so I got to do another recording of that here in a bit. But I'll finish this one up and clean the mold lines on this one. I'm trying to make sure that everything's good here. Yep, that one's good. A little bit to clean up here, but make sure the hand is good. Yep, there. I was looking for it. I knew there was a part that I cut, so you can see there's like an extra little finger there. It's not supposed to be there. That's a piece of the mold. Okay, there we go. I'll glue it on here. Oh, nope. Another piece of flash there, too, right here. Alright, I already trimmed up the sword earlier. Just trying to make sure that everything else is trim. Okay. I was wondering actually, because this is atypical of Poots. I was wondering why she looked very like Ghost in the Shell with the way her armor's on. It's not supposed to look like that. But I think the cloak covers up a ton of that, is why. Yep, it covers up all of that. So, cool. I don't know. I haven't decided if I want to... I want the cloak, but I haven't decided if I want to glue it on first or not. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, just for ease of building and keeping everything together. It's gonna be finicky trying to get around that, but it'll be okay. And apparently she does not stand up on her own. But yeah, that's what I was thinking, Jason, but apparently not. Apparently they accounted for it. Although it is important to note that in this kit the cloak is very separate to where you could just have the cloak in your armor kit for later on. So you just take that off and build her separate without it. Or use the head and cloak for one of your survivors just so they can have the cloak. That's actually important. Okay, finish gluing her together. And then I've got to clear up some mold lines on her. So I'm going to do a quick little mold line check. It's actually not as important on a lot of these cloth areas because unlike skin tones, you have a lot of good... well, I thought of that because it looks like it's just meant to fit over shoulders. And yeah, so eventually I'll probably... Well, I'm going to paint her. I actually have more than one. I'll paint her up, but Then I think what I'll do is I'll magnetize another one so that you can use the cloak separate. Dang it, I just realized I want to do that. Alright, so she's built. I'm going to finish that up, but I'm gonna do another quick little video for magnetizing this.